My hands have to be happy, my ears have to be happy, my nose has to be happy. So I have beautiful oils burning, beautiful music going so I can move with the paint. And I actually dance when I paint. My name is Rose Giardina. I became an artist at a ripe old age of 55. I knew I could draw when I was young, but it was something that was never pushed my way or encouraged because I came from a very big family. I think that it was an important part of my life anyway. It didn't matter. I wasn't ready to do art then. I was ready to do art when it came. So when I was 55, I went to do a course. I did a course on meditation thinking that I was going to be a meditation teacher. But on that meditation course, we had a 7-day non-talking meditation session. Every day we were asked the same question, tell me who you are. Now you thought that was fine in the beginning, but by the end of it, the end result was your ego had been pulled out of you and it was sitting next to you and you were nobody. That's when it happened. When that whole week was over, the teachers said, now when you go home, don't go unpacking drawers, go home and do something you love doing. So I came home and immediately I went and got all this jewelry that I had packed away for years of my life. And I thought I'll put that together. I've always wanted to do it. And so I started doing that and I did a whole year of it and I created all this jewelry art, which I absolutely loved, but I could see it wasn't going to fulfill me the way I wanted to be fulfilled. So in the same time, I started buying canvases. I just experimented every way I could experiment, I did. Why do I keep painting now? I have a lot of time on my hand, and since I found out that I had this wonderful gift that was given to me, I feel like I owe it back to somebody, and I sometimes think it's me. I owe it back to myself that I can share this with myself because it was something burning inside of me, but I didn't know it until it came out. So my goal is to share it with myself first and then everyone else. Well, I feel like coming from a huge family where I had no ways of expressing myself and even being heard sometimes, that when I found this gift, it was like a gift that I thought, well, you know what, I'll start with this gift and share it, but firstly share it with myself. And I enjoyed it, that I didn't really even want to show my art to anybody. Until I did, then I realized people said, you're really good. So I kind of felt really happy about that. At first I had a theme where I wanted all my artwork to be connected in some way. And the way I did that was that every time I finished an artwork or I started one, I had another canvas going so they all were connected. I love the way the colors go at the end and then I throw them onto another piece of canvas and then that'll be the start of the new artwork. And the theme was abstract with hidden jewels in between all the artwork. I've thought about this one. My hands have to be happy, my ears have to be happy, my nose has to be happy. So I have beautiful oils burning, beautiful music going so I can move with the paint. And I actually dance when I paint. And if I can't dance while I'm painting, I don't know what, the music has to be always working. So what motivates me is all my senses alive. It is, yes, it is. And at my age now, you've got to keep moving. So before I was a very energetic person all my life, but now I find that art is enough. And if I can do a couple of dances in between my artwork, I'm always moving it. It's a wonderful feeling. When I paint, I'm in this great mood. I never paint when I'm down. And so I want to capture that in my artwork, that it's happy. And then when the person buys it, what sort of mood were they in when they were buying it? And that art piece will be their memory of, oh yeah, I remember that day. I felt like that when I purchased that artwork. And so when I look at my art upstairs, I do the same thing. I go, oh, I remember when I did that. Oh, I felt so good. And I want to make that chemistry happen, that alchemy thing that happens with the viewer and me. That's what I would love that people would do if they look at my art. Well, the funny thing is that with my art, I don't know where I got it from, this scraping thing. I just came up with it somehow. And my first tool that I made was a tiny little tool. And the artwork took me a long time. And I kept doing it and it turned out lovely. And then one day my brother rang me up and he said, you know what, someone's doing your work. And I go, who? And he said his name. And it was Gerhard Richter, sorry, and he's a German artist. Anyway, and I ran to the SBS and started watching. I go, oh, that man's not stolen my work. I've just connected. And I felt that I had connected unconsciously to this wonderful life out there. And so then I started watching his work and oh, I fell in love with it. It's so beautiful. You know, it's just wonderful artist. I actually stopped painting. I just give it a break, go out to nature, start walking again, meditate, go through wonderful art books and go to art shows and, you know, just be inspired by the greatest artists out there. So yeah, and then all of a sudden when I'm ready, when I feel ready, I will paint, because I'm not a person who can paint when I'm down. I only can paint when I'm happy. I think it was more this person that had no training whatsoever, just started where it felt safe, and jewelry art felt safe, and I never thought of even exhibiting it, and no one's ever seen it, by the way. As I moved on, I still did things that felt comfortable with me and made me feel good. I felt they were easy work. But as I progressed in time, I started adventuring out to scrapings and then painting on top of them. And that became the new way I love doing art. So this one behind me is similar to that. I started that 5 years ago and just finished it. But most of my art doesn't take that long. It's very quick. So I love doing the artwork at the back, scraping, and then it changed by now I do art on top of it. So it's art on art, absolutely. I was a person who always had to be heard, always had to be, here I am, I'm always here. But now I do not have to do that, because art is my internal peace. And it's changed me to this very peaceful person that when I'm with a group of people now, I couldn't care less if I say 2 words. But if they want to talk about me and my art, I will tell them, but I do not tell people that I'm an artist unless they ask me. So yes, it's changed me. Again, because I'm a novice at it, you know, 8 years is not a long time, that it is easy to do. It's not something to be frightened of. It's creating your own tool. If a paintbrush doesn't work, create a tool. I barely paint with paintbrushes, so people out there should have a go at it. Buy some canvas, just try and use anything. Like, as I said, my first tool was a spatula, so don't be scared of it. And then working your way into other things in other fields. You're good, keep going. For someone who's only been painting for 8 years, people have said to me, you should keep doing it. But, you know, I had a friend once who said to me, you have not been painting for 8 years, you've been painting for 55 years, because it's your life. So when someone says that to me, I kind of like it, that they tell me that I'm, you know, good at it. So everyone needs recognition. We all want recognition and to be heard and seen. So art is that for me, to be seen. ColourSpace is my opening to my life, because I sold a lot of art, but now my art is everywhere. I don't even care if it doesn't sell. It's out there and it gets looked at. So ColourSpace, it's a wonderful job. I have a Facebook page, Living in Art. So it's Rose Giardina, Living in Art. And then you can find me on Instagram at Giardina Rose.